Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I had some tech issues. I'm a self-proclaimed technosaurus, so bear with me here. So if you are on, if you want to give me a shout out to where you are, I am fortunate enough to be able to live in the beautiful Okanagan Valley. I absolutely love living here. We moved here 5 years ago from Ontario in Canada, and we just love it. Actually, January 14th, I was wearing flip-flops. Today we have snow, but it's very mild out here, which we absolutely love. So I wanted to kind of talk to you guys today about the compensation plan. I should let you know in advance that I will be speaking in Canadian terms. I don't know if a lot of the people in this group are specifically in Canada, but I can only speak to, hi Wendy, Medicine Hat, woohoo! I'm going to be speaking, hey Lindsay. Okay, so we have American friends on here too, so stick with me. It's still very relevant information that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I'm going to kind of take you through really generalized layout. Like, obviously it depends on hi Laura, Jessica, it depends on how many people you obviously have in your team. It depends on how many frontline, Danielle, my friend, it depends on how many active frontline you have. But I'm going to be speaking in super generalized terms today, and I'm going to be relaying everything as to 500 PRV. I think it's really important that everybody realizes right off the bat. Hi Sarah from Red Deer. I think it's important that people realize that 500 PRV should be your minimum goal if you want to be making money with Scentsy. I know that we have a new policy in place that you have to have 200 PRV 1 month out of every 12, and we love those people. The more hobbyists that you can get on your teams, obviously the better it is. But if you are wanting to build your business in 2021, it's really important to start establishing a 500 PRV minimum every month for yourself, just to expect that that's what you're going to do. If you know me, and if you're in my team, my downline, you probably already know that from director and above, really my expectation is 2,000, even though Scentsy's is 500. And that's only because if you continually are striving for 2,000 PRV, you're leading by example, you're working your business, and you're going to build strength. So a little bit different. What I'm sharing with you today is very basic. It's based on the 500 PRV, and I'm going to share with you what your paycheck will look like based on just sales, and then what your paycheck would be based on sales plus recruiting and building your team, and the value that comes in that. So a lot of people, when they first join Scentsy, of course, they have no intention of doing Scentsy full time. They oftentimes will join your team just so that they can get their own product at consultant cost, and that's awesome. The more people we have like that, the better it is. If you really start thinking about it, if you have 12 hobbyists, but they place an order, if each of them only place an order every 12th month, you are still getting an active frontline every single month. Okay, so it's really starting to train your brain to be thinking in a leadership capacity, even if it's starting out with mostly hobbyists. Okay, and probably most of you who joined to be a hobbyist as well, and that's awesome. We love our hobbyists. But today I'm going to be talking to you about why you might want to consider moving up in the ranks into a leadership position. So just so that you know, from lead consultant and higher, again, like I said, the minimum PRV requirement every month is 500 PRV. Now, you're not going to get rich doing 500 PRV a month. If you only ever wanted to focus on sales, I would suggest that you do 500 PRV every week, so that at very least you're going to get your 25% base commission plus your 5% bonus for having over 2,000 PRV in the month. So in Canada, if you're doing 2,000 PRV a month, that's $792, which is significant. But in this instance, we're going to be talking to you today about 500 PRV. And like I said at the beginning, if you missed it, I'm talking in very general terms. I'm talking about you just placing your 500 PRV and then your team TWV bringing up the balance, okay? So let me see. One thing I do want to mention is if you go into leadership and you have 400 PRV 1 month, you still get paid, of course, but you would not get paid on your downline. You wouldn't get paid on your team because you didn't hit that 500 PRV requirement. So that's the kind of the first thing to know about the leadership requirements, is that you do need to have 500 PRV every month to be paid on your downline, okay? And so why is that important? That's what we're really going to talk about today. One thing, because I'm talking about earnings, please refer to your income disclosure statement. And then, of course, if you have a catalog on hand, it is handy to have one on hand at all times. I keep one posted on my bulletin board here in my office. Hey, Christy, and Charla. So I always like to have this on hand, but to be totally transparent with you guys, I still have my original startup guide, and it came with a breakdown of what the actual requirements were for each title and what the rewards were for each title. And it was written out, which I'm actually a visual learner, and I'm somebody who learns best by doing something. And so anyways, that one was a little bit easier for me to understand. So if after this video, if you are still not clear on how to use a compensation plan, please don't be afraid to ask. Like, that's what we're here for, okay? Okay, so I do encourage you to have a piece of paper and a pen, because I'm actually going to be giving you some facts and figures so that you can write it down. I know not everybody is a numbers nerd like with me, and that's okay, but you do need to understand the difference between just being certified and being a lead consultant and higher. It's really important that you have this knowledge. Knowledge is power. The more information that you know about the compensation plan, the more confident you will be with it. And that's what we're going to cover today. Okay. So, in a single month, if you have 500 PRV, your commission based on being certified. Okay, so obviously you know to go from essential to certified is 1,000 PRV lifetime. Some people it takes 2 days, some people it takes 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, doesn't matter. But I'm going to be giving this example from certified consultants, so somebody who is earning 25% base commission. Again, sorry, my American friends, this is in Canadian dollars. But if you do 500 PRV in a month, your pay is $165 for the month, which is awesome. And that's going to help pay a bill. That's going to definitely go into your pay portal, and it's going to be downloadable. Yesterday I had a question about how much pay do you need to earn in order to be paid? And actually, you get paid on everything. The difference is, I believe that here in Canada, it's a $35 base that you have to have in your pay portal in order to download it. But you still obviously get paid on every single order that you put in. So certified consultant, just at their 500 PRV, is going to earn $165 in the month. So for the year, and I think it's really valuable to write down what the annual pay is for that. Because when we are talking to potential recruits, it's important to come with that knowledge that you know, okay, well, what would be if I did 500 PRV every month? What would I make? And $165 is a lot of money, and that is life-changing money to a lot of people. But if you let them know that annually, if you did 500 PRV every month, you would earn $1,980. So that sounds a little bit better than $165, right? So $1,980, you guys, that is really starting to help people see that there is income potential with Scentsy. Obviously, this is, a conversation you want to have with people when you are talking to them about Scentsy. I don't cover everything. But I do ask them, what would be the reason that you would want to join Scentsy? And they would say, well, I just want to get my own product at consultant cost. And I'd say, great, you'd save, you get 20% back on your commission up until you had a threshold of $1,320. And to them, that's fine. And then I say, but if you have a few friends who might be interested in buying from you, you could have potentially $1,980 at the end of the year if you did 500 PRV every single month. Okay, so it's important that people realize that there is income to be earned, even if they personally have no intention of building a team. So if you're watching this today and you've never considered building a team, that's okay. But I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes the difference in pay for lead, star, and superstar, as well as director, star director, and superstar director. And these are base. You guys, this is base. So this is pretty interesting. So now we're going to look at, you promote to a lead consultant. So you have your same 500 PRV. And in my examples today, I'm going based on just doing your 500 PRV, no more. So obviously, you make the most money on your PRV, but it's important to see what you make on your team as well. Okay, so to be a lead consultant, you need to have 1 active frontline and you need to have 1,000 TWV. Now, just for the sake of making this kind of easy to understand, I would say to get 1,000 TWV, even though it says you need 1 active frontline, personally, I would encourage my team to get 5 recruits. Okay, so every time it says 1 active frontline, I would say get 5 people, and then you're more likely to not only hit it one time, but to consistently be paid at that title, right? Okay, so then your pay goes from 25% base commission. You're going to earn a 2% bonus on your own TWV and a 2% bonus on your frontline TWV. Okay, so 2%, I get it, you guys. It doesn't sound like a ton of money, okay? But if you have that pen and paper, go ahead and write this down. Your team, because you now have a team and you're a lead, your pay just boosted to $192.50 a month. Okay, so from $165 to $192.50, or $2,310 for the year. Okay, so now that's a little bit of an increase from $1,980 to $2,310 for the year, and that is not shady. You guys, that's great extra income to be making every year. Okay, so we're going to take that same PRV, the 500 PRV, and now we're going to look at a star consultant. So as a star consultant, you need to have your minimum 500 PRV, which is the example we're using in this video. Your 500 PRV, you need to have 2,500 TWV, and you need to have 2 active frontline in Lou, 2 active frontline in that month to be paid as a star consultant. So if you need 2 active frontline, I would suggest going for 10 people on your team. And that will increase your likelihood of being paid at title every single month. Paid at title is actually super, super important. You don't want to hit that nice higher paycheck one month and then not anymore. That kind of isn't great. So the idea here is that not only do you promote, but you continue to work to be paid at that title every month. Okay, so as a star consultant, now you're going to be earning at least $280 a month. And that is $3,360 a year. Okay, so you can see that that's a nice increase again. If you've been taking notes and you're writing down the difference in pay, initially, that 2%, 4%, it doesn't sound like very much, and I understand that. But when you start to see it grow and compound year over year, it actually is a significant increase. So, just to take you for 1 minute to my personal story, we grew up really poor. We didn't have extras. We didn't do extracurricular activities. We didn't eat out. I was a latchkey kid. Like, we didn't have any luxuries, like barely base necessities. And so for those of you who are, maybe not in that position and you think, oh, well, what's an extra $280 a month? I want to tell you that is actually a lot of money for a lot of people. So you always want to make sure that you're talking to everybody about joining your team, because you never know who this opportunity is going to bless in a big, big way. Okay, so just to recap that's your 500 PRV a month, being paid as a star consultant. And you're going to earn $280 a month, which is $3,360 a year, okay? Now, you might have some people who are on your team and they just want to be earning extra money so that they can take their kids on a trip or to, you know, Disney or whatever. And that money can compound and save up in their pay portal. You don't actually have to download your pay portal money every month. You can leave it in there to grow if you want. Okay, so now I know that you want to see more, especially if you've stuck around since the beginning. Let's talk about Superstar Consultant. So a Superstar Consultant has to have their 500 PRV every single month. They need 6,000 TWV. By the way, TWV refers to team wholesale volume, so it's 0.75% of PRV, if that's relevant to you. And you have to have your 3 active frontline. So again, if you need to have 3, I would suggest that you go for 15 team members at this point so that you're consistently paid at title. And this is where there is this big shift in our pay. When you start to build your team, you kind of don't really notice the little 2%, 4%, you know, whatever. That's not super significant to some people. To other people, it's quite significant. And I've already shared, that's why I tell you the annual amount that you're going to be earning versus the monthly amount. Well, in addition to your monthly amount. But this is where things take this little twist. Okay. And I can tell you this from my own experience and from the many team members that I've coached into these positions. When you hit Superstar Consultant for the first time, usually, you start earning more on your team than you do on your own sales. So up until this point, you're usually making about more on your sales. And then suddenly at Superstar Consultant, it's like, wait a second, I'm making more on my team than on my personal sales. And that's a really exciting sweet spot to be in. And from then on out, obviously, we're going to be making more money on our teams than our own sales. So as a Superstar Consultant, you need like I said, the 500 PRV, 6,000 TWV, 3 active frontline. And your monthly pay, hopefully you guys are writing these down, your monthly pay just increased significantly. So now you're making $604.69 every month, which is significant. That I know for some people is like a car payment, okay? That's $7,256 a year. That is a lot of money for a lot of people. Hey, Cam. So yeah, if you think about what would you do if you had $7,256 every year? That's awesome, you guys. That is so exciting. Okay, so as a director, okay, this is the biggie. Hopefully you're ready for this. I actually just realized in my notes that I don't have my star director or my superstar director, and I apologize for that. I will post them below. I don't think I have the bandwidth to actually work it out right at this minute. I don't. I will post it below. Sorry about that. So as a director, so this again, you have your 500, your base requirement is 500 PRV. I coach my team to have 2,000 PRV if they want to be a director. But this is all still based on those very generous minimums. Okay, so as a director, you need your 500 PRV, 10,000 TWV, 3 active frontline. At this stage, I would suggest that you have 20 people on your team at least so that you're consistently paid at title. You don't want to get this big paycheck 1 month and then drop back down again. Trust me on this. If anyone has ever had one paycheck as a new title and then never earned it again, it's a little bit, you know, so you really want to work to continually be paid at your title, and that requires lots of recruiting. You have to recruit. You have to constantly be thinking like, you know, who can I bless with this business? It is not a burden. You guys, it's completely changed my life, my family's life. I don't want to get going on that, but this is, Scentsy has the ability to make people's lives completely different. So as a director, your base pay, okay? So when we first started out, we talked about certified. Certified is earning $165 a month if they are getting their 500 PRV. Again, just a reminder for those who stepped in a bit later, this is in Canadian funds. As a director, your base pay would be $1,090.32 every month. That is not little chump change, you guys. $1,000 a month actually is people paying people's rent. I mean, if you just think for a minute, what would you do with an extra $1,000 a month? That is significant. When I was, working my way up through the ranks, I had heard that, I'm just looking at Cassandra, you're writing, I wish that this was shareable. If you would like, I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel where you can share that information. Sorry, my light ring just went out. Oh, well. When I was first starting to think about going up the ranks, I had heard that on average directors were earning $1,000 a month, and this completely changed my mindset. I was like, okay, I have got to do this. What do I have to do to get to director? And then I heard that a star director on average is earning $5,000 a month, and a superstar director on average is earning $10,000 a month. Can you guys imagine what $10,000 a month is doing for people? That's insanity. Anyways, back to our example. As a director, just putting in your base of 500 PRV, you're going to be earning $1,090.32. That's awesome. That annually, that is $13,083.84 every year. That is significant. And that is why I'm encouraging you to get more than the minimums. These were all based on 500 PRV. You guys, most directors are not doing 500 PRV. They're doing significantly more than that. Like I said, I train my team to do 2,000 PRV if they want to be a director, so that they are always exceeding this 1,000 average. I was not put on this earth to be average. I do not accept that. So if the annual pay for a director is 1,000 PRV, a star director is 5,000, and a superstar director is 10,000, I am not average. I am not put here to be average. I'm going to do exceedingly more than what those minimums are. Okay, so that was just a little recap. If you've never sponsored before, I encourage you to start today. I can't say that enough. The sooner that you start to build your team, the more confidence you're going to build. If you've never sponsored anyone, I can tell you from experience, the first one is the mindset. It's the hardest one. Once you get your first, you're golden. Recruiting becomes much, much easier after you get that first one, because most people think, oh, I don't want to come across as pushy. Well, are you a pushy person? Well, no, but I don't want to come. If you're not a pushy person, you're not going to come across as pushy. Interestingly enough, I have a very strange story. If you've ever heard it, I'm not going to share it now. You can look it up. But nobody actually asked me to join Scentsy, and actually it's quite offensive, because if I can look at my pay now and I think, nobody even offered me the Scentsy opportunity, and you know what, I might have said no, but I don't take no as no ever. I take no as not right now. And if I ask somebody, hey, have you ever thought about doing what I do? And they say, no, not really. And I'll say, okay, can I ask you, what is the number one reason that you wouldn't? Then you kind of do that one thing. You don't have to tell them all the reasons that they're wrong. Ask them what one thing is stopping you from joining today. And then just go over that with them and dispel that. And if they still say, I don't know, then just say, you know what, there's no pressure. But the next time that there is an opportunity for a discounted kit, is that something that I could reach out to you? And they always say yes. I have always had people say, oh yes, if there is a discounted kit available, let me know and I will think about joining at that time. So that's what I do. I hope that you guys have had an opportunity to have an aha moment, a light bulb moment through this. I do encourage you to keep working at it. The more people that you can tell about the opportunity, the better. Like I said, if you teach them to do 500 PRV every single month, they're still going to be earning almost $2,000 at the end of the year. That's awesome. That is significant. They can leave that in their pay portal for the whole month, and they can do a big dump at the end to download that and to, pay for Christmas or whatever. So anyways, I hope that that's helped you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sticking with it to the end. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. I want to cover those questions for you. I will post the minimum based on Star Director and Superstar Director, even though I've already told you it's 5,000 and 10,000, if you want it. Maybe I'll say it like that. Then I don't have to add something to my plate if you're not. If that's enough information, the 5,000 and the 10,000 is enough information, that's awesome. Thank you, Laura. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.